Welcome back everybody to my channel, where you subscribe for daily videos on personal finance, investing, and entrepreneurship. You're watching this video because you want to know if Bitcoin is going to hit $200,000 this year. I certainly hope so. And you came to the right place because today I'm going to tell you exactly why it can happen. Now, by the way, just to be clear, this is not financial advice. This is not an offer to buy or sell any security. It's not a solicitation of any kind. This is just my own personal opinion and how I'm thinking about this. But I do think it's super important to talk about these things because the truth is, Bitcoin at $200,000 per coin is a big deal. Not only because we all like making money, but because it's a huge thing for cryptocurrencies in general. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Now, there's really three parts to this video. First, the hook. Second, the presentation of the problem or the challenge. And then third, the solution. Why can Bitcoin reach $200,000? So for the hook, I actually have two options. One is that Bitcoin is up 40% year to date, which is definitely true. Or number two is that Bitcoin is going to reach $500,000 in the next 5 years. Which one do you guys want to hear? Come on, be honest. If you commented yet, I'd love to know which one you would pick. But either way, I've got your answer. Bitcoin's recent surge has brought it to a market cap of over $1 trillion. And the next major resistance level on many analysts' radar is $200,000 per coin. Now, if you don't know what all that means, don't worry. We'll get to that. The point is that Bitcoin is very close to reaching 200K, and it could happen this year. That's the thesis of this video. Now, obviously Bitcoin is extremely volatile, and it could just as easily go down as it could go up. So let's talk about why it's going up. In the last few weeks, we've seen Bitcoin flirt with new highs above the $63,000 level. In fact, at the time of recording, Bitcoin is trading at about $63,800 per coin. However, industry experts predict that these levels are not the peak of the current cycle. There are a number of reasons why Bitcoin is rallying now. Some believe that the recent dip in mining difficulty, coupled with a slew of positive regulatory news in the United States and a large institutional adoption, is fueling the latest price surge. A dip in mining difficulty means that miners are having an easier time validating blocks of transactions on the blockchain network, resulting in higher profitability and subsequently driving more people to mine Bitcoin. Now, if you're not familiar with Bitcoin mining, it's basically like a really complicated math equation that requires significant computing power. Now, here's the thing. The harder it is to solve the equation, the more miners are needed to participate in the process. And when fewer miners participate, Bitcoin rewards are reduced. But when the mining difficulty goes down, the opposite happens. More miners participate and Bitcoin rewards are higher. The other reason Bitcoin is rising is due to the recent news that the United States is considering allowing retail investors to gain exposure to Bitcoin through a Bitcoin ETF. Now again, if you don't know what a Bitcoin ETF is, don't worry. Basically, it allows investors to invest in Bitcoin without actually buying or storing Bitcoin. But here's the thing. ETFs have existed for traditional markets for decades. There are ETFs for stocks, bonds, commodities, real estate, and more. But for some reason, the SEC keeps rejecting Bitcoin ETFs. However, they've signaled that they won't reject one forever. And when that finally happens, I think we'll see massive adoption from everyday investors. Now, I'm not saying this will happen immediately, but once the dam breaks, I think we'll see huge adoption pretty quickly. And that's why I think Bitcoin will hit $200,000 per coin in the next few years. This is me. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to check out my other video on the top 3 cryptocurrency trends in 2021. I'll see you there.